Hi everyone, this is the first webinar of our JDE Digital Transformation Series from EnterpriseOne Solutions. At EnterpriseOne Solutions, we are customer-centric JD Edwards ERP solution provider consisting of world-class implementation, integrations, and application development teams. In this series, we're going to cover UX1, Oracle Jet, and most importantly, new features of Orchestrator Studio. To get hands-on experience with the latest JDE tools, enhancement, and application code, this webinar would help you building your own JDE environment on Oracle Cloud. The benefits of having JDE environment is enormous. Not only you can explore the functionality of JDE applications with latest code, but you can also experience the new tools features. You can build your own orchestrations, experience watch list analytics and springboards, upload Jet components and whatnot. Since Oracle Cloud has made noticeable changes in the last 6 to 12 months, we thought it's a good idea to have a step-by-step webinar to build a JDE environment with the latest tools release as a trial version. We have created a cheat sheet for your convenience where we have provided all the important links. Please jot these down. The first one is the cloud.oracle.com where you would request your Oracle Cloud account. The second one is a tutorial which helps you installing a compute instance on Oracle Cloud for JD Edwards. The third one is the Oracle support. If you stuck during the process, there are common scenarios which people come across or stumble upon, and that covers it very well. And there are a few downloads you need to make. Now let's start. Cloud.oracle.com and go and click try for free. This will take you to a new page where you will click the create a free account, and that will take you to the registration page on Oracle Cloud. Here you will provide some necessary information like a company use and other information, but the key thing is the cloud account name. It has to be small case and letters, and it has to be unique. No one else had used it in the past. Once you provide all this information, it will ask your mobile number or cell phone number, and then once you provide that, you will click request code. You click that and you will receive a text from Oracle in few minutes. Provide that verification code information at the bottom of your screen, and then you will provide all your payment information. Just keep that in mind. This payment information is for the future use if you like to convert your trial version into a permanent solution for your company or for yourself. So please make sure that you read that information correctly. Once your request is approved, you will receive an email with your user ID and password. Click on the link Get Started with Oracle Cloud at the bottom, and that will take you to a new screen where you will enter your credentials and log into the Oracle Cloud dashboard. Now, the first thing I will set it up is my preference, and the second thing I will try to do is go to the dashboard on the top three. So once you click on that, click Customize Dashboard. And in there, you can see that there is a Compute Classic and and regular Compute. Click on Compute Classic, and that will take you to a new screen where it will show all the options you could have for the Compute Classic options. Now let's click on the Open Service Console on the top right of your screen, and that will open up the Service Console for Compute Classic. At this point, I would recommend going through the tutorial because now we need to create and upload the SSH keys. That has been done through a new software which we had a link earlier in the cheat sheet called Putty. You need to go to the Putty and download the software. It's pretty simple. And then what we will do, let's assume that by now you have already downloaded Putty on your computer. Just read through this section and on the tutorial, and that would help you a lot. Let's start Putty. You need to ensure that all the options tutorial has suggested have been set. Look at the screen I have right now. It's RSA. At the bottom, you can see that it is 2048. And when I click on the key, it's suggested that it has the right key selected for it. Now, what you need to do is click Generate and make a random movement on your screen on a blank area on the Putty screen. What it would do is, behind the scenes, is capturing the random pattern your mouse is making. And based on that, it will generate a new key, SSH key for you. There is another important thing. You need to put a key phrase in here and then click Save Private Key and give a name like RS, whatever it is, whatever you like to have, and save it as a PPK. At the bottom of your screen, you can see that. The second one you need to save it is a public key. So you will select something else because I already created one and they recommend creating two. So I created underscore two. Now we have keys. So the next thing we need to do is to go to the dashboard again and click on the Compute Classic and say Open Service Console. That will take us to the Compute Classic Service Console where we will upload these SSH keys, the recently generated ones. On your screen, you can see that we are going to the Compute Classic, and I will click on the Network tab first. When I click on the Network tab, you can see that there is a drop-down I would receive, and click on the SSH public keys. Here, I'll click Add SSH public key on the right side of your screen. When I do that, I will give it a name, and then in the value, I'll copy this SSH public key which I generated earlier. Click Add. Once you click Add, you will see that your public SSH key has been uploaded to the screen right away. Click on IP networks again and scroll all the way down to the shared networks. That's another thing you need to remember, that you need to click shared network, and then in there you can click on the IP reservations. On the right side of your screen, create IP reservation. Now you can give a name of your choice. I have come up with something like JDE underscore trial and whatnot. And then once you provide the name, you will click create. Now it will take few seconds, and you can see once you click create on top right of your screen that it will be processing your request. Once that turns into green, it means your process request has been successful, and it will assign you a new IP address. At the middle of your screen, you can see that there is a public IP address which has been assigned um, to my compute instance. Next thing we are going to do is to go to edelivery.oracle.com and download the Oracle VM config tool. Once this tool is downloaded, the next important thing is to know your service instance ID or the domain name. There are a couple of ways to do that, and people make a mistake a lot of times on that. So go to the Compute Classics and click View Details. In there, you will see that at bottom left of your screen, you will have a service instance ID. Jot that down because VM tool would need that. Once you have the service instance ID, let's open it up, your VM config tool, and it will give you a few options to start with. There are three options, and you need to go with the trial version with the VM config tool. We'll see it as soon as it shows up on our screen. So we'll say trial edition and click OK on it. Now you'll provide the domain information, your username, which will be your email address, unique identifier. Um, that unique identifier will be used to generate the files on a particular location. On the second tab, which is the server tabs, you will assign the IP address which has been assigned to you earlier, and also a port. I have chosen 8080, but you can pick any of the port from the range provided to you. Third is the password. So password has to match. And the paraphrase. Paraphrase is another key thing you need to remember. So jot that down, whatever you have selected as a password, and enter paraphrase. And click generate files. Now these generate files would create a couple of files in your C directory, which you can see at the bottom of your screen. The next thing you need to do is to go to orchestrations. Now what we will do, we'll upload an orchestration which we have just generated through the VM config tool. So let's click on that, and now say upload orchestration and go to the folder which you just have created and select the orchestration TE underscore the name you have provided and say upload. Once the upload is done, the orchestration on top of your screen says it was successfully uploaded. The next thing we'll do is we'll click start. That will start the orchestration we have just uploaded. Now, in the middle of your screen, there is a section called status. And if you look at the status, it says starting. On the right side, you can see a refresh icon with the time as of. And what you can do is you can click on that icon to see the status of it. So I'll click on that status just to make sure that my orchestration has been started already, and now you can see on the middle of your screen that this orchestration has been ready to work on. Next, we'll go to the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. From here, we'll search for JDE 9.2 Trial Edition. And what we are trying to do here is to get the image for the latest JDE apps and tools release. This search will show you what is available on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. And apparently, we are looking for application, 9.0 applications with IR 9.2.2.5. Once you select that, it will take you to the next screen. One key thing to remember, that's the third key thing to remember in this tutorial, is you have to have the same user account which you have used to set up the compute instance and also to get this application from the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Now I receive an error and it's asking me to update my preferences. More than often you may stumble upon that as well. So what I'll do, I'll click on the preferences and go to the and select the permission setting on the screen. Once I do that, I'll save that and it will update my preferences that I can download an application from Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Once it's done, I'll go back and into the trial edition and into the Cloud Marketplace and try to get the app again. When I click Get App, I would be successful this time and it will start installing the JDE image for the application's tools release behind the scenes. So if you stumble upon that, this is a very small thing you need to remember, that you have to update your preferences on your compute instance. Click Get App and it will start installing the application on the next screen. It will take probably a few seconds before it pops up on our screen, and now you click I have reviewed and accept the standards, terms and restrictions, and then you will click install. It will also show you your compute instance account name, so you make sure that you select the right one. Should have been only one if you're starting the very first time, and then you click install and it will start the installation process. It will take a few minutes and it should be ready. Don't click Start Compute Console from here. That's another key thing to remember. You need to go back to your Compute Classic instance, which you have already opened, and go to the Compute Console from there. That's another thing Oracle suggested in the tutorial, so please keep up with that. Now, when you go to your Compute Classic instance, go to the Storage tab. Now, in the Storage tab, this is a place where you will select how much storage do you need. So click on the Create Storage Volume, and you can give it a name of your choice. I chose JDE Trial 9.2. You can give it anything, and at the bottom of your screen you should see JDE Trial 9.2, the one we have seen in the Oracle Marketplace, Cloud Marketplace. You can select the size of 125 GB. That's what I have selected, and that should be sufficient. And click Create. Now, on the top right again, keep looking at your top of your screen. It means it's turned to green. It means that it has been your request has been successful. Now the status is initializing. You can keep checking, and when it turns to online, it means it's ready for you to use and proceed further. Now we click Instances, and in the Instance tab, we'll create an instance. Now you have multiple options, and click Show All Images. In here, you see multiple options, but you will click on the private images on your left side. Click on that, and you would see the trial edition which we have just installed from the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Click Select. Once selected, it will show you options for the shape. I have selected OC4. On the next screen, you will see that there are options. I have selected OC4, and then the next would be the instance. There are a few things to remember in here. You have to set persistence as true, which is the first option. Second is the name. I'll go back to the VM config tool and see what I have given the name as, and I'll use the same name here, which is JDE Trial 9.2. I'm using the same name for the label as well. And the next thing we need to look at is the network. For the DNS hostname prefix, we need to give the same name, which is the JDE Trial 9.2. And also you have to uncheck the IP network here, and instead you need to select the shared network. Next thing we need to do is you will click on the public IP address drop down menu at the bottom of your screen and click persistent public IP reservation. That will give you the IP address which has been assigned to you earlier, and you can see 129.150.204. You select that one, and on the security list you need to uncheck the default one and create your own security list. So when you click on that one, you will see your E1 TEA, the one we have uploaded earlier. You can remove the default one from here now. Next thing we need to look at is the storage part. First thing you will do is you will remove the default storage, which you can see the JDE trial line 2 underscore storage. Click on the menu on the right side and click remove. That will remove the default storage. And now the next thing you would need to do is click attach existing volume. The next thing you need to look at is if you click on the drop down against the attached storage volume, it will default the JDE trial 9.2. Keep it that way, and you need to select the checkbox against the boot drive. Click on that and click add. The next thing is you will be able to review your choices, what you have made. Just review that, and if everything looks good, on the top right you will see a create button. Click on the create button. As soon as you click on the create button, system will process your request. The next thing you would notice is the green checkbox on the right, which means everything went successful. And as soon as the status changes to running, it means your instance is ready for the installation. Now I'm going to start putty.exe and set up my account for the later use. We need to provide the IP address which has been assigned to us earlier. And another key thing is we need to look at the options like .ssh has been selected. There are a couple of other things which needs to be set up here. Now let's go to the connection on the left side and click on the data. The auto login username needs to be OPC. Please see on your screen. Then what we'll need to do is go to SSH under the connection node and expand it. And select the SSH node, and then you will see an auth. Select on that, and you will see that there is a private key file for authentication. Click browse, and the private key you had been generated earlier, select that. Save these settings with the name of your choice. I use JDE 9.2 trial so that I can use these settings later in the process. The next thing we'll do is go to the WinSCP and provide the IP address which we have been using in the cloud instance. The username here would be OPC, and then we'll go to the advanced setting. The whole purpose of coming to WinSCP is to move en-jdadverts.json file which vmconfig tool has generated for us earlier. We need to move this file into a location on our IP address, and that's the whole purpose of coming to WinSCP. Once we move that file, we can start the installation through PuTTY. So right here, I'm just reviewing all these changes. Go to the SSH key. I already loaded the private key which we had generated earlier. Click OK, and then you click login. So once you click login, the first time you will receive a warning message, say yes to that. The next thing you will receive is to enter the paraphrase, which we jotted down earlier. So provide the paraphrase, and if you provide the correct paraphrase, it will let you log in into the IP address. And here we go. Since we are logged into the OPC directory, we need to go to the root directory of this folder. In there, you will see a TMP, which is a temporary location folder. We need to go into that one and select that and get to that. So scroll down all the way, and then you will see TMP. Select that one, and on the left side, your vmconfig tool have generated two different files. One is en-jdadverts.json. Select that and click upload here. Right, exactly like that, and say click OK. Once you do that, you can see on the right side that en-jdadverts.json has been transferred to your OPC temp location. Next, you need to go to PuTTY and load your setting JDE 9.2 trial. Click open. As soon as you do that, it will ask for your paraphrase key. Please provide your paraphrase key, which you noted down earlier. And if everything goes fine, you will see that installation script will be loaded and start doing the installation. Let's wait for a few seconds. Here you go. You can see that screen that installation has been started and things are working now. Since it's going to take some time, please note down a few things here. One is that your wireless connectivity, if you're on a wireless network, obviously, then your wireless or internet connectivity is good. You don't want to interrupt the installation in between. Number two is because of your mouse inactivity, please make sure your computer does not go to sleep mode or hibernate because your mouse is not active. And the same reason here as well that you don't want to interrupt the scripts which are doing the installations behind the scene. It takes a little while to complete the installation. For me, it took a little over 60 minutes. For a period of time, I didn't see any activity on the screen, but then all of a sudden things started moving and then it was quick afterwards. The key to remember here is if you don't see any errors, hopefully you won't, and if you get your cursor back, that means that your installation has been completed successfully and you are ready to use your JDE environment. Personally, I don't like longer tutorials. People lose interest in the longer tutorials, so I try to keep this one as short as possible. We are almost done here and hopefully we'll get our cursor back. And here we go. Now I'll try to log into my environment. My IP address would be the server address for me. And I will just type in /jde/e1menu.maf and use the user ID and credentials I have used for the cloud account. The second one is the orchestrator. Will have the same thing, but the port will be 7070 and /jde res/client/login.html. The third thing I would do is I'll go to Orchestrator Studio and try to log into all three of them. Now we're going to log in into our new JDE 9.2 tools and applications environment. Here we go. So you can see on your screen that there are all the new 9.2 even and compose pages on your screen. I can click on incident self-service and let's try to find something which has the JET component so that we can test the connectivity of the AIS server as well. So I selected the maintain team reliability. It would probably take a few seconds to load all the data because it's the first time. But other than that, the environment has been lightning fast and the Oracle Cloud trial version performance has been very good. I have no complaint whatsoever. So let's see how this behaves. And here you go. You can see the data from the alert level by the equipment on the right side of your screen, the average days and whatnot on through the JET component. Let's open a base application P01012 just to make sure that things are working good. I will search on 4242 and let's see if it brings the results back. And it does. So let's go to the orchestrator client and log into that and also try to log into the orchestrator studio. Here you go. You can see your orchestrator studio right here. You can see orchestrations, icon, service requests, cross-reference, and whitelist and notifications. Folks, we have our 9.2 JDE environment ready, and you can explore all the new tools features. In this digital transformation series from EnterpriseOne Solutions, we will cover JET, build orchestration to complex business scenarios, and UX1 pages. Please stay engaged with us. Let's review our cheat sheet one more time. I would also like to mention Cole and Evan from Oracle Cloud team as they have worked closely with us to make this possible. I would recommend working with them to get your cloud thing working, and they're very helpful people. Their email addresses is on the screen now. For any queries on the webinar, please contact slatif@enterpriseonesolutions.com. In the end, I would say thank you for being with us in this tutorial. Hopefully this would help. Have a wonderful day.